Every company wants to innovate. They want to make sure that they're on the cutting edge of technology so that when something new happens, they're not left behind. In this day and age, in the global competitive markets, if there is something new and you as a company are not keeping up with it, you are irrelevant. You essentially become dead. Think about the companies that didn't go onto the internet to market their services, that didn't use social media to build a brand or a following. Those companies don't exist. Any company that you know about likely has some type of presence on the platforms where attention exists. Why? Because you've got to go where there's attention. And over the past basically 5, 6, 7 months, people have started and companies have started to realize that attention may be shifting. Attention might just be shifting from these boxes that we stare at all day into things that are more immersive, more virtual, more augmented. And if the attention does shift from two-dimensional devices, your laptop, your desktop, your phone, into more three-dimensional experiences, then that means that companies have to be ready for it. Whether or not it's going to be the mainstream way of how people consume content and get new experiences and new information is irrelevant. If it is going to be, if it even has a chance to become one of those ways, then those companies need to take a role on it. And that's why the metaverse is important. The metaverse is this idea that people are not going to be spending their time scrolling through things, scrolling through a picture on Instagram, but rather they're going to be inside that exact picture via some type of virtual reality, augmented reality headset. And if that is true, if we are inside a new dimension of how people engage with the internet in and of itself, that means there's going to be an abundance of opportunities for new companies to actually be able to take advantage of those opportunities, because those companies are going to find gaps in the market space that big incumbents aren't taking advantage of, which is why Facebook, Google, Twitter, everyone is trying to figure out their metaverse strategy. What is the metaverse strategy for a company that is trying to become the modern operating system for the enterprise, or Palantir? I did an article on this, and I think there is a really interesting way to think about how Foundry for crypto ultimately can become a major role in the metaverse. And it starts with understanding the concept of tokenization. Well, first, let's talk really quick about what Foundry for Crypto is. Foundry for Crypto is Palantir's attempt to be able to offer secure services to crypto startups. And their ability to offer those services to crypto startups rests upon the fact that crypto startups are really risky, and crypto startups don't really know how to take care of their money and don't know how to take care of the security measures and the fraud and the KYC laws that are required when you're dealing with people's money. As a result of that, Foundry for Crypto can play a major role in helping crypto startups. But Foundry for Crypto doesn't matter unless crypto is one of the main elements of the metaverse. And I believe it will be one of the main elements of the metaverse, or at least it should be one of the main elements of the metaverse. And here's why. Tokenization. Many Web3 protagonists argue that there's a new way to fund the internet outside of the horror of advertising, tokenizing networks. By the way, I don't think advertising is the worst thing in the world, but a lot of Web3 fanatics would say that it's not the best way or the healthiest way to create a platform that has a network effect. Which brings up the discussion. What is a network effect? Platforms develop network effects when they're able to match two sides of the marketplace, creators and consumers, especially for most content-based networks. So if you think about something like YouTube, YouTube has network effects because every new individual that joins the network adds more value to the network in and of itself, creating a network effect. Consumers come and they consume videos, which is great for creators because then they can post more videos for consumers to be able to consume. It gives the incentive for the consumer to come. There's more content, gives incentive for the creator to come because there's more people to consume their content. And when creators come and actually be able to and create those videos, it fuels the dynamics of the network because now the network has something meaningful to offer to the person that's actually coming to it. So network effects can become exponentially powerful. Uber, Facebook, DoorDash, Airbnb, Twitter, YouTube, the biggest companies in the world have solved the problem of network effects and have created ultimately thriving networks. However, getting a platform to have network effects is really, really hard. It's probably up there in the top 3 most difficult things to do on the planet. I know this because I'm running a startup and my startup is trying to create network effects. And it's not easy. It is very, very difficult. I mean, it's one of those things where you think you want to go become a doctor. Look, that's hard. But getting network effects is also very hard. It's not an easy thing to do this. However, Web3, which is the sort of next generation of the internet, that is decentralized methodology of the internet, says that there's a different way to do this, which is tokenization. This is the process of starting a company and having that company create its own crypto token. As a result, when new users join the platform, they can either earn tokens through performing actions like play-to-earn games. Axie Infinity is one of the biggest networks that is built on this concept. Or they can buy the token and then spend more of their attention on the network because now they have an incentive for the network to become more powerful, enhancing their own financial gain since the token will go up in value. This means that tokenization is a method to be able to fuel network effects. Let's talk about what that means for a bit. When a company issues a token, let's say a decentralized startup issues a token, And that token is built to fuel the value of the network. That means, let's say Company A issues the Company A token. Company A wants to play in the role in the metaverse, and Company A obviously needs a community, they need a fan base, they need people supporting it, and they need a way for them to be able to go to market. If they issue that token and they get enough people to buy into the value proposition of that token, people will start buying that token. And as a result of people buying that token, they now have a financial stake. They are integrated into the entire concept of Company A. They want Company A to win, because if Company A wins, then they win, because they have a controlling stake to some extent, right, of Company A, because they bought tokens of Company A. And the ability to pump that token up means that they're going to engage with the network. Let's say that network requires them to spend time. They're going to be spending time on that network, because if they're spending time on that network's going to become more powerful. It's a more dynamic way, it's a more incentive-oriented way to get people to actually use a platform and use a network in a world in which network effects are incredibly hard to do, in order to fuel the potential of the platform becoming important. Why does this matter for decentralized startups? Well, centralized startups should not be the ethos of the metaverse, is what Web3 people argue. They argue that if Facebook, Google, Amazon, Twitter, whatever, if any of these big technology companies control the metaverse, then the metaverse has ultimately failed. Because the nature of the metaverse, the entire point of the metaverse, is that it needs to be decentralized. Decentralized simply means that people should have ownership stakes. Users should be able to own some part of the platform. Right now, I own nothing of YouTube, and decentralized Web3 enthusiasts would say that if there is a decentralized version of YouTube in the metaverse, then you should be able to own what you put into it. You should be able to own part of your content. You should be able to own some value within that new technology company. And the only way to do that is to have a cryptocurrency framework and methodology that allows users to own some of the platform. If you don't have that type of methodology, then the platform isn't decentralized. If the platform is not built on blockchain technology that is also decentralized, then the platform becomes centralized. So what people argue in the metaverse that should exist is a decentralized mechanism that is not centralized in some type of authority, which also gives people the ability to own part of that startup or that company through tokenization, and the ability to issue those tokens provides a cryptocurrency network effect that allows people to want to buy into the token in order for the value of the token to go up, which means they spend more time, whether it's play to earn or their attention, whatever it may be, trying to make sure the value of that network sustains itself in order for their own financial gain to also occur. Is that the best strategy for a network effect? I personally don't believe so, but that's what Web3 enthusiasts try to argue. Now, where does Palantir come in? Metaverse fans want it to be decentralized. The only way to build a decentralized platform is by having tokenization via cryptocurrencies. And if that's the case, then there are going to be many, many more crypto-based startups funding their own version of the metaverse. This is where Foundry for Crypto comes in. I believe if the metaverse becomes this decentralized layer of the internet where millions and millions of people are engaging and they're buying crypto and tokens, and that's how the metaverse is ultimately funded. The internet is funded by ads. If the metaverse, which is the next generation of the internet, is funded through cryptocurrencies, Foundry for Crypto would come in. It is Palantir's attempt to offer their technology that has been used to fight financial fraud, stop money laundering, help banks comply with heavy regulation, and much more in the land of cryptocurrencies. And just yesterday, there was actually a hack for another cryptocurrency startup for $622 million. This week on crypto, Axie Infinity, the company I mentioned just earlier, was hacked for $622 million. Like, hacks in the metaverse are very, very common, or in the cryptocurrency world, and there needs to be protection for this. Palantir wants to be the backbone. So on their website, we can see it right here. They offer a variety of things for Foundry for Crypto. We have anti-money laundering, fraud detection, DApp business intelligence, decentralized apps business intelligence, right? So Foundry for Crypto allows Web3 startups to build complex workflows on top of decentralized app metadata with rapid speed, enabling data-driven internal product roadmaps, cross-chain analytics. This chain agnostic, which means it doesn't matter which blockchain you're working on, Foundry is able to work with it. There's not a lot of companies that are able to provide the depths of analytics and sort of platform solutions that Palantir is able to offer towards the cryptocurrency world, because like the cryptocurrency world is a very hard world. One of the hardest things about the cryptocurrency world as well is all of the hacks and frauds that exist. And I believe that if these startups start to take a lot of attention and a lot of share in the market in terms of their ability to actually decentralize the metaverse and get the metaverse to become this new layer of the internet that is funded by cryptocurrencies, the most important thing is going to be its ability to be safe and secure. If those startups, if those cryptocurrency tokens are not safe, are not secure, they don't have anti-money laundering effect, they're not able to put data together together to be able to track financial fraud. They're not able to use data analytics to be able to make product decisions that fuel the value of the network in so far as the network does not get hacked or have money stolen from it. Then the value of those tokens, the value of the decentralized nature of it, the value proposition of the metaverse being the next generation of the internet, it goes to the gutter. Like, no one's going to keep using these things if their money is being stolen because hackers are finding ways to break into these protocols that are decentralized and then be able to hack them. That means there's a massive opportunity here for Palantir's Foundry. Now, Foundry for crypto has not made any big strides yet. There was like one or two product announcements of it like in November. So like there really haven't been major iterations of it, as my mic falls. And as a result of there not being super major iterations on it, that means that there is likely an opportunity for Palantir to take a role in the metaverse with Foundry for crypto when they see when they see crypto startups are starting to need these types of protections. And I think they're already seeing that. The question is, are these crypto startups going to be able to scale? If Foundry for crypto fails and it doesn't gain a lot of market traction, I think the metaverse ultimately fails. Because I think every crypto startups needs some type of service like Palantir. And I don't see that many competitors to Palantir that are offering the same type of platform-based operating system for protecting cryptocurrency and crypto-based startups and from a financial fraud perspective. And if there's not that many startups out there that are offering the same thing that Palantir is offering, then that means cryptocurrency startups are not adopting the software, which means either they figured out a way to not have to use this type of software to protect their networks, or they're just not having mainstream adoption. One or the other is going to be correct, and ultimately we're going to see if Palantir and Foundry for crypto can power the metaverse.